In the movie, a girl was seen speeding with a superbike. After some time, she got to a place and stopped, but a truck suddenly started speeding towards her and she zoomed off heading towards the truck, and they both crashed into each other, causing a huge explosion. After the explosion, the girl jumps out of the fire and removed her helmet. Her name is Nina. Just as Nina was there, a lady came out of the burning truck. Her name is Anna. They are both sister, but they are against one another. They both started running towards each other. They jumped and smashed their legs together and they fell back. They both started fighting as Anna tried to kick Nina, but she raised her leg up and she missed. She also tried to hit her, but Nina pinned her leg and pulled her to the ground and kicked her. Nina jumped and held her head and she threw Anna to the wall. She ran towards Anna and pinned her to the ground. She kicked her and she slid back. Anna stood up and noticed that Nina was too strong for her. She whistled and some soldiers came out and surrounded them. As they pointed their guns at Nina, Nina quickly ran and jumped over them as she backflipped and fell over the bridge. The soldiers tried to shoot her, but she was gone. Later on, Nina was seen in an office with Jin. She told him that G Corporation have not gotten the specimen, so they still have a chance. Jin told her to go and get the specimen and she left. After that, Anna was seen walking into Kazuya's office. She told him that they now have the details of their target. She showed him the picture of Shin Kamiya. She told Kazuya that he is hiding in Kyoto. Kazuya told her to run a background check on him before going, that he doesn't want Jin to find out. Anna told Kazuya not to worry, that she is going to deploy Ling for the job, and he told her to go ahead for the mission. Later on, we are taken to Kyoto and we saw Ling speeding on a panda. As she headed to school, after some time, she entered the school premises and the panda was still speeding. As it jumped and slid into his packing spot, Ling came down and gave the panda some bamboo grass. She turned and saw a man standing at her back. The man told her to go to the principal's office. Inside the principal's office, the man told her that she had been expelled. She asks him why and he said that she owes the school 300 grand for gym repair bill. Just as they were talking, the principal chair turned and Anna threw a knife at her, but she backflipped and kicked the knife to the ceiling. She asked Anna who she was, and Anna told her that she will be transferred to another school to monitor Shin and learn more about him. Ling refused to go at first, but Anna told her that she is from G Corporation, and she agreed to go to the school. Later on, Ling was seen at Kyoto International School as she was talking with her lecturer, but it turned out that the students all went for the school festival and she was the only one in class. She went out to the school festival ground, but as she was walking, Elisa bumped into her and they fell to the ground. She told her sorry and she left. Ling continued her search and she later got the coordinates of Shin, but as she was standing there, a shoe fell on her head. She looked up and saw Shin falling from the top. Ling quickly ran to the tree and jumped toward Shin. She caught him and they fell to the ground. She tried talking to Shin, but he stood up and walked away. She looked up and she saw Elisa. Later on, Ling was seen talking with Elisa about Shin, and Elisa told her that Shin have tried to kill himself multiple times ever since he got into the school. After their conversation, Ling was later seen sneaking into the male's hostel at night. She got to Shin's door and she broke the lock as she entered the room. She saw his picture and carried them and she was going through them. She slowly walked into the bathroom and saw Shin bathing, but Elisa came in and touched her. She quickly dragged Elisa and they ran away. They ran into the corner of a building. Ling asked Elisa why she was in Shin's room and Elisa told her that she went to give him a gift, and that she is kind of crushing on Shin. Elisa asked Ling why she was there, and Ling told her that she is also having a crush on Shin. The next day in school, Ling walked into her class and saw Elisa talking with Shin. He saw her and quickly ran to her as he called her his savior. He dragged her and they ran away. Elisa came out of the door but they were already gone. Shin was later seen covering Ling's mouth with his hand. He finally let her go and he told her that he was just trying to get away from Elisa. Later on, they were both seen at the top of the school building. Ling showed him a picture and told him that she knows that he was a student of her former school. Shin told her that it was a long time ago. He asked her about Jin, and told her that they used to be on the same school team. After their conversation, Shin ran away. Later that day, Ling and Elisa were seen walking into the school festival ground to watch the students' live broadcast. While they were there, the broadcast started and Shin was the first person to broadcast, but while he was broadcasting, some soldiers walked in and pinned him to the ground. Ling saw that he was in danger, so she quickly ran out to save him and Elisa was following her. She got to the place and broke the door, but the room was empty. They walked into the inner room and found out that it was not a live broadcast, and that Shin might have already been captured before then. Just as they were there, Elisa suddenly turned against Ling and started fighting her. Elisa kicked her, and she fell out of the building. Later on, Ling was seen at home while she was searching the internet for more information about Elisa. She finally got the information she was searching for, and she found out that Elisa is a spy sent to monitor Shin. Anna suddenly held her neck as she tried to choke her. She told Ling that she is a failure for allowing Elisa to use her. Ling begged her to stop but she didn't. Anna told her to make sure that she destroy Elisa and she took her hands off her. The next day, Elisa and Ling were seen at the campus ground as they both challenged themselves to a fight. Elisa quickly ran towards her and they started fighting. She kicked Ling and she fell back. The both continued fighting, but this time Ling held Elisa's leg and pushed her back. After that, Elisa ran towards Ling as the fight continued. But as the fight was getting tougher, Ling backflipped and kicked off Elisa's head and she fell to the ground. Ling caught Elisa's head as it was falling and it exploded on her hand. Elisa quickly activated her advanced battle mode and brought out a spinning blade. She brought out a new head and ran towards Ling as the fight continued. But this time, Elisa was at the offense. She tried to cut Ling with her spinning blade, but Ling resisted. She then kicked Ling and she fell back. She tried to cut Ling again, but she jumped into a building. Elisa followed her into the building and tried to cut her, but Ling kept on dodging her blades. Ling quickly climbed to the roof of the building and tried to run away, but Elisa bursted out through the roof and she fell back. She carried a statue and continued fighting with Elisa. But Elisa kicked her and she fell off the roof and landed on the ground. Elisa came close to her and pointed the blade at her. She asked Ling if Shin was taken by the G Corporation, and Ling told her that she doesn't know. Just as they were there, the building exploded. Anna and her men came out, and she told Elisa to give her all the information she have on the Mishima group, but Elisa told her that she doesn't have the proper clearance to access those information. Anna sent her men and they started fighting with Elisa as she beats them, but they electrocuted her and hit her with their stick and she fell to the ground. Ling quickly started fighting off the soldiers as she tried to protect her friend. Anna told her that if she protects Elisa she will automatically become their enemy. She sent her men and they pointed their guns at the girls, but Ling's panda came and carried them and they ran away. Later on, the soldiers were seen searching for the girls as they were hiding behind the grass. Luckily for them, their lecturer saw them and took them to his house. He gave them his keys and walked away. Ling was later seen removing some bullets from Elisa's back. After that, Ling took Elisa to her former school as they went in search of Shin. They entered the school's secret underground and they found a room with clinical bed. Elisa quickly scanned the computers for any data, but she found none. Ling checked the shelves and she found a book on the shelf. She opened the book and saw a picture of Shin and his former classmates. They further investigated and found out that Shin and his classmates were used for experiments, but all his classmates died and he was the only survivor. The experiment made him immortal, and that is why the Mishima family have been searching for him. Ling took Elisa to their principal's office, and showed her the picture of their late principal, Heihachi Mishima, the father of Kazuya and the grandfather of Jin. Heihachi Mishima was the principal in charge of the school at the time of the experiment. Later on, Ling was seen taking her bath at home. After the shower they went to bed. In the night, Anna and her soldiers were seen entering the building. The soldiers entered the room and started shooting at the bed. Anna told them to stop. She walked close to the bed and removed the bed cover, but Ling and Elisa were not there and Anna became furious. Just as she was there, the window exploded and some robots entered the room. Nina came down and went close to them. Meanwhile, Elisa and Ling were seen flying to Shin's location. After flying for some time, they finally reached the place and they broke the door as they entered the temple. They saw Shin and quickly ran to him. Shin told them that they have done a great job by bringing the Mishima family right to his location. He removed the bandage on his hand and showed them the immortal virus tattoo that the Mishimas are fighting for. Jin suddenly broke the door and entered the temple. Shin told him welcome and told him that he knows that he wants to get some part of his immortality. Jin's father also broke into the temple, and after a while, the temple cuttings were drawn up and we saw Jin's grandfather, Heihachi Mishima. Heihachi told Shin that it feels good to finally see him after he faked his death. He walked down the stairs and they all started talking. Shin showed him what he turned him into. He stood up and tore his shirt off, but his body was filled with some green glowing substance. He told Heihachi that it is time for him to pay for what he did. Shin quickly ran towards Heihachi and punched him, but he didn't move. Heihachi hit Shin and carried him on his shoulders as he was seen choking Shin. Heihachi jumped up and landed on the ground, breaking Shin's backbone. After that he threw him away. Ling and Elisa quickly ran to Shin as they tried to help him, but it was too late and Shin was already dying and he passed away. Jin angrily activated his beast mode and started walking towards his grandfather, but Ling ran into his front as she tried to stop him. Jin used his powers to push her away. The Mishima family started fighting as they hit their feast together, which caused a big shockwave. That pushed Ling out of the temple and she was seen falling, but Elisa saved her. The family fight continued as they beat one another. Jin jumped up to hit Heihachi, but Kazuya held his leg and pulled him down. He spinned Jin and threw him to Heihachi. Heihachi caught him and hit on the floor. He then started punching him continuously, but Kazuya quickly jumped up and hit them, and they broke through the floor to a lower room. The fight continued as Jin was seen beating them. He ran on the wood and kicked Kazuya. Heihachi tried to hit Jin, but Kazuya kicked him away. Kazuya ran and carried Jin through the wall and they started falling. Jin landed on the floor and Heihachi tried to land on him, but he jumped away. The family fight became tougher as they fought relentlessly. Jin carried Heihachi as they rolled on the stairs and they started falling, but Heihachi punched his head to the ground. After that, Kazuya tried to hit Heihachi, but Heihachi quickly jumped up and hit him and he penetrated through the floor. Jin also tried to hit Heihachi, but he caught him. He jumped up and gave him a smack down and they broke through the floor into the next floor. Heihachi carried Jin and threw him away like a dead chicken. He quickly ran and punched Kazuya to the wall. Heihachi tried to hit Jin but he missed. Jin immediately hit him to the wall. Jin started punching him continuously and the force pushed him through the walls of the building as he was seen falling. Later on, Jin crashed through a wall and Kazuya was seen walking out. He slowly turned into his demon form. Jin started punching him but the punches did nothing to him. Kazuya carried him and threw him to the rooftop of the building. He jumped up and hit him and the building crashed to the ground. Jin was later seen on the ground. Elisa quickly ran into Kazuya's front as she tried to stop him, but Jin told her to power down and she fell on the ground. Kazuya then used his leg to step on Elisa and her body split it into two as she was seen falling down the stairs. Jin quickly activated his demon mode and he turned into a demon. He shot blue lasers at Kazuya but Kazuya flew away. He tried to hit him with his laser but Kazuya kept on dodging the laser beam. The fight became intense and the laser destroyed the temple. Ling carried Elisa as she ran out of the place. Jin and his father continued fighting, but Kazuya used his hand to rip out his demon horns. He kicked Jin and he fell into another temple. After some time, Jin came out of the temple. He activated the crystal on his head and he transformed into his strongest demon form. He continued fighting with Kazuya but this time he was now stronger than Kazuya as he is seen beating Kazuya. He started punching Kazuya continuously as they were falling from the sky. He gave him his finishing punch and Kazuya fell from the sky into the river. After that, Jin flew to Ling as she was crying about Elisa's death. Jin told her not to cry, that everything will be fine. Just as they were talking, a yellowish flame suddenly burst out of the ground. It was Heihachi and he activated the Kyoto Earth Goddess as the monster was seen coming out of the ground. Ling started running away with Elisa while Jin was seen fighting with the monster. But the monster hits him and he fell back. The monster tried to step on Ling and Elisa, but Ling's panda came to their rescue as he is seen holding the monster's leg. The force of the monster's leg became too much and the panda rolled out with Ling and Elisa. Jin continued fighting with the monster but the monster was too strong for him alone. Elisa suddenly woke up and tried to go and save Jin. She turned her hand into a rocket and shot them at the monster. The rocket flew into the monster's body and hit Heihachi as it exploded. Jin quickly seized that opportunity. He flew up into the sky and supercharged his crystal. He used the crystal's laser to cut the monster into two and destroyed Heihachi as the monster was seen falling to the ground. Later on, Jin came to Ling as she was mourning Elisa's death. He reactivated Elisa and she came back to life. After that, Jin flew away as the Mishima's bloodline was now destroyed and the movie ended.